Welcome to episode 5 of The Power of Visualization. All this week we've been talking about the power of your mind to create true belief. And when we say again, I'll believe it when I see it, it's as much true with our inner eyes seeing things as it is with our physical eyes seeing things. Because remember, your challenge when someone offers you extraordinary claim is that you say, I'll have to see it in order for me to believe it. Someone says, you wouldn't believe what happened, man, thus and such. And you say, well, I'll believe it when I see it. We only say that when the claim is extraordinary, right? Extraordinary, not something that's ordinary, something that's extraordinary, something out of the norm. You say you'll have to get your physical eyes on it in order to actually believe it. True enough. Let's transfer that now to your inner eyes, right? You are challenged with extraordinary claims about you, the possibilities of your future, the possibilities of your life and potential. These are extraordinary claims. Isn't that the heart of personal development? When the claim is extraordinary, you need to see it to believe it. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. When the claim is extraordinary, you have to see it in order to believe it. That's the way it is physically. When someone gives you an extraordinary claim and you say, well, I'll believe it when I see it. It is the same thing when we're talking about you. Because maybe your life hasn't turned out so well. And so you have a struggle believing anybody's telling you or you telling yourself that you can have a much, much different, more prosperous, more successful, more fulfilled and happy future because you've never experienced that before. So you assume that the future is going to resemble the past. And the only evidence you have for that is the past itself. So the claim that the future is not going to resemble the past is an extraordinary claim. Because the ordinary claim is exactly what happened to you in the past. I hope that all makes sense. That's what's ordinary to you. What's ordinary to you is setbacks, problem, hindrances, same old, right? That's what's ordinary. So if you're going to have a different life and try to get your head around the possibilities of living that different life, that is an extraordinary claim. Therefore, you will only believe it when you see it. Now, since we can't jump to your future and actually see it, we're going to have to create that future now because you will believe whatever it is that you see with your inner eyes. So again, when the claim is extraordinary, you're going to have to see it to believe it. So when we start thinking of the extraordinary claims about your future, that it will no longer resemble the past, that you're going to be better at everything that you do, that you are going to do the thing that you've always wanted to do with your life. You are going to have those things you always wanted. When you start to believe these things, it's only when you start to see these things. You have to see and regularly visualize the extraordinary claim. You can no longer visualize what is ordinary. You can no longer see what only happened to you in the past. You cannot continue to play over and over again the same old movie. Even though the movie is not pleasant, even though, our past was not pleasant, still we insist on watching the same movie again and again. That is what's ordinary to us. But our job now is to create a life that is extraordinary. We want to go beyond where we were before. But in order to do that, we have to be able to see it. We have to be able to visualize it. We have to be able to see ourselves doing these things. But there's no way we're really going to be able to even get to that point of believing and visualizing the extraordinary claim of our own possible future. We have to see ourselves living that way today. So that means using the visual power of your mind to change the way you see today. Not just the outcomes of today, but your actions. So if you know the kind of actions it's going to take in order to create that extraordinary future, That means those actions themselves have to be extraordinary. And again, extraordinary. Because the actions you've done in the past haven't created the outcome that you want. So we're going to have to change the way we do things. Change your daily habits, change your daily actions, and do them consistently. That's the difficult part, right? Being consistent, being self-disciplined, that's where the challenge lies. Well, in order to do that, you have to use the visual power of your mind to visualize and see yourself doing the daily action steps that create the extraordinary future. Now, I've talked about this repeatedly in other videos. When it comes to the long-term goal, you need to visualize the action steps. When it comes to the long-term goal, don't visualize the goal so much as you do the action steps. Do both, but visualize more so the action steps. You know, if your goal is to lose 150 pounds, it's not healthy to always visualize yourself as slimmer because it's hard for you to get your head around. Because becoming slimmer means doing the action steps every day with diet and exercise. So it's better to see yourself, use that visual power to see yourself, going to the grocery store, buying the right foods, see yourself happy eating and cooking the right foods, see yourself happy, working out or walking on the treadmill. See that every day, and you're more prone to do those things. The end result, you'll create that extraordinary claim. Okay, so when it comes to a long-term goal, it's better to visualize the action steps. When it comes to a short-term goal, it's better to visualize the outcome. So, for example, a short-term goal would be something that you could do today, quite possibly. Like if you're really feeling lazy, you don't want to clean out that garage because you look at it and it's just an absolute mess. You haven't touched it in months. It's just a wreck, and it would take you all day to do it. You don't want to do it. You'd rather just sit down and spend time in the house. So what do you do to get yourself to do it? Well, you walk over to the garage, you open it, you take a look at it. Wow, what a mess. Close your eyes and start to see it clean. Open your eyes. It's all filled up with dirt and crap and junk. Close your eyes again. See it clean. See it absolutely in order. Open your eyes again. See it messy. Close them again. See it all clean. What happens is your mind is starting to create what it sees as the ideal future, which is a clean garage. And what follows that is emotion and the desire to do it. So you're no longer visualizing the pain of what you're doing. You're visualizing the short-term goal, the end result. And you realize it's not going to really take me that much to do it. I can do this. And you'll start to see yourself again wanting to do it because the visual image you have of a clean garage has overpowered the visual image you had of the dreaded work that had to be done in order to clean the garage. Man, I hope I'm saying this in a way that's understandable. So when it comes to the short-term goal, visualize the outcome because it'll prompt you to take action. When it comes to the long-term goal that's going to take more than a day to do, like losing 150 pounds, it's better to visualize yourself doing the daily things that it takes to achieve that outcome. Either way, you know what I mean? It's going to be that drive, that inner belief, that inner faith, because whatever you believe is what you're going to do. And that's what the visual power of the mind does. It fuels the real source of faith. It's not what you understand rationally with your mathematical part of your mind that determines your beliefs. It's what you see with the inner eyes of your mind. That's what controls belief. And if you do that, as the old scriptures say, faith will move mountains. The impossible will be made possible by the power of your beliefs. Can you dig that? I hope you can.